left work late today because the doors broke, and whenever doors break in jail, that's a big deal. So I got stuck, and then I had to find someone who had a wonderful set of keys, and then we could go around to lesser used doors around the main areas until I finally was able to break free from jail today. Hello, my name is Anna. If you don't know me yet, I do work at a youth detention center. If you can't tell by my story, my little story, I am a social worker. Freshly, a little less freshly, kind of freshly graduated with my MSW, and I'm currently studying for my LMSW, which is actually coming a lot sooner than I had originally scheduled it for. I guess I was gonna say I'll get into that later, but we might as well just open by already getting into things. Yeah, so I had originally scheduled my LMSW test for a few months from now. I still did it within 2022 because I wanted to achieve that goal in 2022 to get my license. And I was thinking the other day and was kind of like, why do I need to wait till December? Especially because I just learned a lot of this stuff, like a lot of the recall information and everything I've learned in undergrad and grad school. So I was like, waiting the extra few months, I feel like whatever studying I'm doing, going up in the knowledge, is just like counterbalancing whatever I'm forgetting from grad school. And so I started kind of taking more seriously, looking at practice questions and things like that in my free time. And my test is coming up sooner than it originally was, which is very exciting. Today is Friday, for context. I work a funny work week, so don't get excited that it's Friday, because this week I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday today, and I'm working Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So really it's the middle of the work week that we're sitting in right now. It was a good day at jail today. I ended up not actually seeing any of my kids. I had one that I was trying to get a session with, and we see them twice a month. And so I always try to get my first sessions with all of my kids in just like the very first part of the month. And then I can have like a week where I don't have sessions scheduled, so I can really focus attention on, like assessments that may come in, whatever it may be, planning, whatever it may be. And then the third week of the month, doing all my sessions again. And then the fourth week, again, coping with everything that comes up, that may come up. But they weren't able to bring him up to my office today. So I ended up typing up a little like homework paper, which was honestly just a way to keep my brain. But I wanted to work on relaxation techniques. So what I did was kind of typed up a little piece of paper about deep breathing exercises. And I said, since you can't come, since they couldn't bring you up today, I'm giving you homework. And the paper itself essentially was just saying like, just do this whenever you can throughout the day. Make it be at least 4 times this weekend that you try it. Anytime works, but go ahead and try for like when you wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night, just because those can be beneficial. And then I did a little section that was like, before you begin this technique, which of these are true? And it was things like, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling irritated, I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling all right, I'm feeling depressed, like just like kind of those options. And then a couple like my body options too. So like my body is feeling tense, my body is feeling tight, my body is feeling relaxed, just to have a gauge of, before I do this. And then it had a little step-by-step guide of deep breathing, and then a now, which of these are true? And it's things that's like, my heart rate feels slower, my thoughts feel more controlled, just things like that. And so I think it'll be kind of cool. And I do work at my regular facility this weekend, so I'll be back there tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, all of that. I think Zach and I have plans tonight, I'm pretty sure, so we'll kind of have to see how that goes. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in a workout if possible. I've been having to ease back into the workouts ever since coming off the weekend, because last week I really didn't work out just because I was exhausted, and so I gave myself a little rest era. And then this weekend obviously was the Colorado weekend, and so I didn't really work out then. So I've been trying to just ease myself back by not doing super hard things, but just getting my body moving. So that's the goal for tonight. Wow, the lighting here is awful for our OOTD/OOTN. Something Zach and I are very good at is matching outfit vibes, as one may be able to tell.
Newest stuff from Prada, can't you tell? Gucci, Prada, oh my goodness.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
All Gucci, Prada.
Got your bling.
Louis Vuitton, somewhere around here. This is straight gold, 10K, dropped on this chain.
Oh,
yeah. I got this from Alter State for $70 when I was 16, and to this day it's the most I ever spent on a shirt. And then I got these from Target. It was actually a vlog from 2020, but got these from Target for maybe like $20, and I'm just gonna wear white sneakers, tennis shoes. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. and I'm about to head in. Last night was really fun. I don't remember if I mentioned, but Zach and I went with one of his friends and his girlfriend to Tour Tap Room, like on the Beltline in Atlanta, and then stopped by like Walkie Margie's afterwards, which is like kind of fun time, hanging out with them, chatting, everything. Got home at like, well, I got to sleep probably by like 11:30, and in my head I was thinking, I do not know the last time that I stayed up this late. 11:30, that's like crazy, witching hour. And then it hit a moment of realization where I was like falling asleep at 11:30, and I was like, if I wake up for work tomorrow at the same time that I always wake up for work tomorrow, I'm still getting 7 hours of sleep. I was like, I need to go a little bit crazier, because that's ridiculous. 7 hours of sleep after a night out. Anyways, 8 a.m. I'm here at jail. They have like it's like an open house today for parents for education, I think, but nobody told me about it until as I was like leaving yesterday, so I don't for real know. And I imagine that I'll just kind of like be nosy and walk around if there's other people walking around and like talking to teachers and stuff, so I'll do that, but I don't really know what my day consists of for real, so we'll just have to see. It'll have rounds because I always do rounds whenever I'm here, but other than that, we'll just have to see.
Got a brand new day. Good love is on the way, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. Have you ever been in love? Dove in from high above, and if the answer's no, well then I'd like to get to know you. And though I know these lights are blinding, I will guide us home. I don't know what I've been told. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. And I don't know what those men see, but I see you right next to me. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. And good love will soon arrive, and when it does, then come a little closer. Have you ever seen the stars burn out into the dark?
This is the first time my new camera lens has been used in my car, so welcome to the wide angle of the car. But I never actually talked yesterday. After I got back from work, I realized I did go work out, as you saw, which was very nice. But yesterday at work, I actually ended up being really busy the whole time, but mostly just I mean, I really liked it because sometimes on the weekends it gets to the point where I'm just literally finding myself things to do in order to stay there, and because I want to get my hours, obviously. And yesterday wasn't like that, and so I really was just kind of beep-bopping around. Like, I started by trying to do my rounds, and I mentioned how they were having that open house. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, I'll just kind of walk around, like show my face, maybe meet a couple parents before it starts, and then like can do my rounds for the kids I need to see that were up there, and then like continue on my merry little way. And whenever I got there, they were like, oh, welcome, we're so glad you're here, and like ushered me into the room that the meeting was at, and I ended up being in the back corner. So then I stayed for the whole meeting too, because I didn't want to walk in front of everyone to leave partway through. And so like it was fine, but I did get to meet some parents and some aunts and uncles and godparents, and so that was cool. You know, it's always a cool situation getting to see them and actually talk to them and, you know, kind of encourage them and talk about what we do and everything. Even though it was like an education meeting, just the fact that I was there, obviously they were asking about mental health as well. I do have an assessment that I'm going to try to do today because it'll be due by the end of the day tomorrow, and that's something that we never really have like a too short of time. Like the shortest time that something is due would be 72 hours, but we always try to do it in advance, like as soon as we can, like not try to reach the end of the 72 hours because things can be unpredictable sometimes with like being able to see kids, because with like security staff, obviously like, they have their own schedule happening, and so them being able to bring us kids is like something on top of that, and so it doesn't always happen. Like I can't just be like, oh, I need to see this kid, and then poof, there they appear. You know, it's more collaborative than that and more compromising than that. Sometimes the kids will go off site for like court or appointment or something like that, and so we never always know when that's happening, which is why it's always good to get the things done beforehand, and so that it doesn't reach a point where you're like, oh, I have an assessment due in 4 hours and the kid's not here, because obviously you don't want to be in that kind of situation. So that was all work yesterday. I'll try to do that assessment today. And I did realize I was thinking about it even yesterday, but I've realized that quite a few people have left comments about like how much I was able to do in August and like being productive and being busy and like doing it well and things like that. And I do want to get better at, I guess, saying when I don't do things, because obviously like it's a lot less natural to talk in the negative and to like get on and be like, oh, I didn't do this, because like you more care what I did do. But then also obviously by showing that, I think that it can portray me in a much like better light than what I feel like based on like actually living my life. And so as we know, heck month with August, it's been like 2 months of me mentioning it in every single video, but because I was working so much, I didn't do like anything else. I obviously don't have school to do anymore, but I like didn't study for my exam. I did work out, but I didn't do kind of all the things around working out that I would like to do. Like I didn't stretch, I didn't drink enough water, I didn't eat good meals, you know, all of that was for sure lacking. I hardly read that much. I did not go hang out with friends, go hang out with any people. I very much slacked on like the household chores, like laundry and cleaning up and everything like that. So obviously like what you see is me looking like doing a lot, like having busy days, but my life as a whole was not the balance that I'm trying for it to be on. And so obviously now coming off of that, I do have more time to be a whole person, which is very nice. But even with that, like just because I have more time doesn't mean I'm actually doing everything or like living the entire ways, like fulfilling all of the habits that I want to. And so just for example, yesterday, because what you saw was me wake up early, despite getting to bed late the night before, but wake up early, be at work, go to work, work out. And that's what you saw of my day, which is like on me because I didn't film more than that, obviously. But so really just like real picture of it, what it was is I worked from about 8 until about 1:15. I ended up arriving home around just before 2, like maybe 1:45, 2-ish. And then I laid on the couch and was exhausted and watched TikToks from about 2 until honestly like 4:35, around that region. And then I started doing just a little bit of computer work, like starting to edit the Colorado vlog that would have gone up sometime before this one. And then around 6:30 is when I went to go work out. So I worked out from 6:30 to about 7:30, but even then it wasn't actually a full hour workout because like I posted a TikTok yesterday and I edited the whole thing while I was at the gym, like in between sets. So you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of time that like wasn't actually like lifting the whole time. It was resting like in the middle of the sets and everything. I worked out from 6:30 to 7:30, got back, and then I like showered, ate a little bit, you know, did all of those, got protein, whatever, and ended up going to bed then around probably 9:30, 9:45, because I continued working on editing that video. And so like obviously those are all good things that I did, you know, rest, work out, edit, work, all of those things. But there was also a lot that I wanted to do yesterday that I didn't do. For example, I have it in a goal to like get all my laundry up off the floor, because as Zach will refer to it, I have my own laundry bin on the floor of like the bathroom and right next to my bed, just because I'm bad at that. And so I had a goal to like get all of that cleaned up, to put away clean laundry that's been clean since Wednesday, I think. Didn't do that. I had a goal to stretch because I've like been in pain just a little bit recently, but because I've been lifting heavier and I haven't been stretching myself out, so my muscles have just been getting so super tight, which like then I lay down to go to sleep at night and I'm like, dang, I wish I would have stretched today. And so I had the goal to do that yesterday, did not do that, did not cook a good dinner at all. I kind of wanted to read, did not read yesterday. There was a lot, like I have due dates and deadlines that we set for September for content wise that I haven't even put in my calendar yet, so I wanted to sit down and do that. So you know, there's a lot that goes on that I wish that I would be doing that I'm not always good at doing at all. And obviously those are the things that you don't see as much, because I don't get on here and say like, I didn't put away my laundry, I forget all the things that I just mentioned. But you know, like I don't always speak in the negative. So I just want to kind of talk about that, to give that picture of like how a vlog can come across versus like how my life is lived like hour to hour each day. And I don't say that in like a you're wrong for thinking I'm productive, because not at all, because obviously like I film my life, so the ways that the videos come out are the ways that I'm putting them out. But just kind of to give perspective of like anybody that you watch, literally anybody that you watch. I know people are like, you only see like 20 minutes out of a 24-hour day, but people naturally are going to make that look like a really good 20 minutes, even if they're coming on being honest and being like, oh, I'm really tired today, I didn't do that much. To you it still looks like they're doing a lot, because the whole day day is crammed into 20 minutes. And so like you wouldn't necessarily see that I laid on the couch for 3 hours yesterday, like totally just exhausted, tired, everything. And so just some perspective for you as I head into work now for a Sunday.
It was nice to know ya. And though I know these lights are blinding, I will guide us home. 'Cause I don't know what I've been told. The weather outside is not that cold. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. And I don't know what those men see, but I see you right next to me. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Good morning. I feel like I've been really bad at vlogging lately and that it keeps just being morning check-ins, but my goal is to maybe like 3 times today come and talk to the vlog, so it'll be a more cohesive storyline, you know. But yesterday I napped when I got home for honestly like 45 minutes. I was just very exhausted and I worked out like you saw. I laid around. I don't really remember. Honestly, yesterday just like wasn't that good day of a work. Like I just got frustrated while at work, and so I had to relax whenever I came off. And then the second thing is that there's been this sore throat that's been going around the boys at the facility, and all of them have been COVID free, strep free, flu free, all of that. And I think I finally got the sore throat. And so yesterday I thought I was kind of making it up, because it was like as soon as I heard that the sore throat had been going around, like it was like I heard about the 5th or 6th kid who was complaining of a sore throat. At that time I was like, oh yeah, my throat's getting a little itchy too, or like a little, no, it's really just hurt, doesn't really itch. So then I thought it was fake from me, because I was like, why would I just all of a sudden feel it as soon as I hear about it? But when I woke up this morning, it definitely is not fake pain in the throat. So I'm looking forward to my hot coffee this morning.
I heard loving's on the way, but I could use it right now. 'Cause I heard loving's on the way, but I could use it right now. 'Cause
so if you remember a few videos back, I mentioned Holly, the skincare service. I'm talking about them again, not because I'm sponsored, but just because I really like them. But it's a skincare service where you take a quiz just about what your skin type is, what your goals are, what products you already own and have and everything. And then they let you know like which of your products are really working for you. And so they include what you already have as much as they can in the skincare routine. But then they also give recommendations based on your goals of maybe something new that you could add in, or like next time you're buying to switch it up. And I've really been loving the change that my skin has taken on in the past couple of weeks. You may even be able to tell that obviously it's not perfect at all, but I'm having a lot less active breakouts, and I feel like my overall like texture and everything has been a lot better. So the main thing that I've changed, because I didn't just drop everything and change to my new products, I've been kind of like working them in because I don't want to be wasteful with what I already do own. And so the biggest things I've changed is I did change my moisturizer because they suggested that. And what's a little bit funny is I didn't actually change the one they recommended just because I bought on a budget, and so I got a dupe of it, which is this one, and I really have enjoyed this. But the biggest change that I've made per their recommendation, which is kind of funny because I probably should have known a little bit to change this, but I used to not wash my face in the morning. Like I would rinse it with water, but I wouldn't actually do skincare in the morning. And they gave me like step-by-steps of, you know, like what is good to use in the morning, what is good to use at night. And so I've changed that, and then I'm still using my CeraVe facial cleanser because they said that it was good and fine, and I still have a lot of it left. But I also did get this cleanser, which is the one that they recommended, and I have really liked it because I kind of tried it out a couple times. And so I'm just working through my CeraVe, occasionally using that other cleanser. And they did give me, if you remember in the unboxing, they gave me a free eye cream that came in the box, and I honestly haven't used it yet. I think it's because in my head it's just like this little pot of gold, and so I haven't wanted to tap into it yet. But tonight, how about that? Tonight we'll use that eye cream. But they're always linked down below, like I said, not because I'm sponsored, but just because I think they're really cool, and I've got a referral link. So hey, done with work, and I keep forgetting, but like today's my last day of the work week. When did I start this video? Do I need to end it today? Wait, I didn't think about that. We'll see when this video ends. But today was my last day of the work week. It is a Monday, so I have Tuesday and Wednesday off, which is very exciting. It was a fine day. I actually had a really good session with one of my clients, and then seen another one of mine just like pretty briefly, pretty short. But the breathing techniques that I told you about have been a big hit, which is awesome, because it's always good to find like something that works with the people that you're working with, because obviously every individual is different, so sometimes it takes some time to figure out like even just something that you're like, that was actually very helpful. And that's how I'm feeling at this point. Obviously it's been like 3 days, so it's not like anyone's life has been changed in this moment, but it is just a good feeling, which I'm enjoying feeling. A less good feeling is the little throat thing happening here, and I did get just a little bit snotty, just like a little bit stuffy, and I feel just like very, very tired. I think I will take a COVID test, because we still have just like a few sitting around. I mean, I've gone 2.5 years without COVID, so I am kind of curious, but like I said, the boys that have had a sore throat at the facility have been COVID negative and strep negative and flu negative and everything, but I just think I might as well take a test. Other than that, on the docket for tonight, I was going to go work out, but I don't know if that's smart necessarily to do whenever I'm kind of just feeling like this, and so I may just kind of sit around on my computer. We'll see. I made the chicken I made last night was really good, and Zach really liked it too, but we have some left over, so I'll definitely eat some of that. Maybe read a book or something. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Oh, I got a raise for my tutoring job. I saw that email just on the way back, but they have a certain like raise schedule based on, you get raises for various like mile markers you reach of hours worked, and then you also get raises based on like keeping certain averages of student reviews, and so I don't know which one of those I hit, but I did get just $1 raise, but that's something. That's $1 more per hour.
I heard loving's on the way, but I can use it right now, 'cause I heard loving's on the way. I don't know what I've been told, the weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
The girl is sick, so she needs some.
Next to me, and if you take my hand.
Are you ready for the reveal? No COVID at all.
And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
C control T test.
And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
So as you saw, I'm COVID negative, but that doesn't mean that I don't feel like poop. And I have this working theory that's going on right now, that my immune system, whenever it's in overdrive, takes up all of my serotonin, because I've been in such a bad mood this morning, and a little bit of last night, and a little bit of Sunday as well. I also was thinking, I literally had a cold at like this exact time last year, which is kind of crazy to me. Maybe it's not crazy, maybe it's just like that first cold of the year type of vibe, but I remember last September, because it was about the week after my internship started, which my internship started on September 16th last year. Right now, as I'm filming this, it is September 13th, and so we're almost at my jail-iversary, which is kind of cute. But I remember it was like my 3rd or 4th day at my internship that I had this awful cold where I just felt like utter poop, and I didn't go in because I didn't know like what to do with COVID and anything, and so I ended up just like staying at home, and then I got a COVID test in the afternoon. I ended up being fine, and it was this whole big shindig where I just felt really anxious the whole time, because I was like, how dare me begin this internship and then get sick? Like, that's so disrespectful of me. Obviously it was totally fine, but I also think, I don't know, just like reflecting back to where I was a year ago, I kind of feel like I picture her as being this like little baby child, even though it was literally 1 year ago. Like, oh, 21 versus 22, crazy age difference. I don't know, I just feel like a lot of growth happened last year. So I was thinking about that this morning. That just made me feel a little sentimental, which is better than feeling irritated as I have so much of this morning. That was a fake sip because it's still hot. But I just made coffee, and I made it with my hazelnut creamer, and then I also put some brown sugar in there because I was feeling like that super fall-like, and maybe that would kind of increase the serotonin a little bit. Honestly, the things that are stressing me right now, number one is money, and I don't even know for sure why, and so I'm trying to like reflect and figure that out, because I just remember I've been keeping track of my budget now, and I just like updated my budget and my spending and everything, and I'm doing okay. Like, I'm doing just fine, and I have 3 more paydays coming this month, and so I'm doing extra just fine. But for example, I did end up buying my laptop, which you know I've been talking about. Like, this is not a spontaneous spur of the moment decision. A lot of thought went into this. I made sure I got the one that was like exactly perfect for me, and I made sure that I could like make the monthly payments, all of that, and yet I still feel stressed about spending that money. The laptop hasn't come in yet. It won't come in until next Friday, so it's still like a week and a half from even right now. Follow up what I spent money on. I bought new tennis shoes on Sunday. They'll actually be here today, which I'm excited for them, but they were $150, which I think is more than I've ever spent on tennis shoes before, because usually I get cheaper ones, but then also that means that they just don't support me like shoes could. And so that's number 2 right there, where I was like, yes, I need to spend this money and like getting shoes. Like I have one pair of tennis shoes that I wear for walking, running errands, working out, everything. And so they've totally worn out, like almost to a point where there's almost a hole in the sole of the shoe. And yet still part of me was like, nah, that was too much to spend on shoes. Like, did you really need to get shoes? It's that little angel and devil on the shoulders here. And then I don't know. It's just like, there's no reason for it really to be stressing me out, but it is. And as you know, I'm trying not to mention it as much because it's been 12 videos straight that I continue mentioning like how much I was teaching in August. As you know, I worked a lot of hours in August, which was fine. Like I'm done with it now and I know not to do that again, but also that means that the paychecks now from that job are so significantly smaller. So it's just a lot of thinking happening, and as you can kind of tell, it's kind of stressing me out a little bit. There's just been various like sending emails and kind of just like being in my head that has been making me feel irritated, and then I feel like I've been getting like YouTube imposter syndrome lately, maybe just a little bit, but I think a big part of it is that I feel like I need to put more effort into like my editing and my filming and my thumbnails and everything, which is like a good thought and a good effort. And whenever I get my new laptop, I'm gonna have Final Cut Pro on it, so I'll be able to do more cool edits and like spend more time, and my computer won't just like crash every 5 seconds, because that's what happens now when I try to edit. But then it's like, since I know that's coming, whenever I'm editing now, I'm just like, this is trash. Like this is so bad, which isn't necessarily true. Like it's the same videos that I've always been making, but then part of me's like, it's the same videos you've always been making. I think you can just tell I'm in my head a lot this morning, and it's already, what time is it? 11:08, and I don't know. It's just gonna be a blood type day, I guess. But because I know I mentioned this before, I'm trying to be better at forcing myself to take peaceful, restful, fun, good for the brain, good for the mentality moments, because if I try to just crank everything out on my to-do list, then the to-do list just keeps growing, and so there's never actually just a point of like peace and rest that comes. However, if I force that peace and rest to happen, then like the to-do list items will get done regardless, but I'll just be more equipped to do them. So lots of thoughts going on this morning. There was also a woodpecker that was like pecking on our exterior wall for about 30 minutes this morning that was killing me. Like it was killing me, because I think what it was that with woodpeckers, it's not like they just make like a solid beat. You know, like if it was repetitive, then I probably could just ignore it, but it was the most like sporadic, random taps. It was so strange. Well, my plans for the day, I do want to work out since I didn't yesterday, and since like I have time on Tuesdays, so then I want to work out, but also I still feel like crap, and so we'll kind of see. Maybe I'll do like yoga or something. Maybe that would be good for my mentality even. We'll see. I have plans to make a smoothie later that I'm already looking forward to. And I kind of want to go outside and like sit in the sun and read or something, because I feel like that could be a type of activity that I feel very proud of myself for doing. I'm reading right now, I just had to go get this book, but I'm reading right now Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. Sally Rooney is an author that you've probably like seen her books kind of a lot, because I feel like a lot of people have read them by now. And what is it? She wrote Normal People, and she wrote Conversations with Friends, and I think she's written like one more that I feel like I hear people talk about. And from what I've heard, people either like Conversations with Friends or they like Normal People. I haven't read either of them, so we'll kind of see. It's cute so far, like it's good so far, and I like the writing style. I feel like it's a very, I don't know, like intimate writing style sort of, where like you are really in the head of the main character. Like you know all of her thoughts and feelings and everything. And I also feel like at this point I kind of like resonate with her a little bit. Like we have very different lives, but there's like some things that she's been saying that I almost feel like it's like a diary entry that I could have written, which is kind of interesting like as I'm reading it. Now I don't want to like read the inside cover coming off of me being like, yeah, I really resonate with her. But it says, a sharply intelligent novel about friendship, lust, jealousy, and the unexpected complications of adulthood in the 21st century. Frances is a cool-headed and darkly observant young woman, vaguely pursuing a career in writing while studying in Dublin. Her best friend and comrade in arms is the beautiful and endlessly self-possessed Bobby. At a local poetry performance one night, Frances and Bobby catch the eye of Melissa, a well-known photographer, and as the girls are gradually drawn into Melissa's world, Frances is reluctantly impressed by the older woman's sophisticated home and tall, handsome husband, Nick. However amusing and ironic Frances and Nick's flirtation seems at first, it gives way to a strange intimacy, and Frances's friendship with Bobby begins to fracture. As Frances tries to keep her life in check, her relationships increasingly resist her control, with Nick, with her difficult and unhappy father, and finally terribly with Bobby. So it's a very, I want to say coming of age, but like in your 20s type. I don't know. It was good though, so far. I'm not that far into it, but it's been good. Oh, Oh, you know what I need to do? I should write all of my thoughts onto that big whiteboard, because that's why I got that. All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
I know that every second you're gone, it's like heaven slipped away. You're the reason that I'm chasing. A smile like that can make no mistakes. I love it when you wake up, freckles with no makeup. I just wanna take up all your time and stay put. Humor mixed with perfume takes over the bedroom. I was built to love you, you know. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody else like you? Anybody else like you? I think I found a name.
Some things that have changed since we last talked. I did get some more serotonin inside me, don't worry. I started watching Orange is the New Black, which I don't know why I've never watched it before. I feel like maybe it's because I was kind of young when it came out. Let me turn myself to more lighting. I feel like it was because I was kind of young when it came out, so I just wasn't sure that it was my vibe all that much. But it has been really interesting. I watched like 4 episodes today, and they're all close to an hour long, so that kind of shows ya. I answered emails, I made a reel. I don't know if you can tell, but I still am not feeling wonderful. But it's more in my, it's more congregated like right here, like in the nose and throat and ears region, more so than like my entire head hurting like it has been before. But also just got a delivery, like right before I sat down to make this, I heard the knock on the door that it got delivered, so that is exciting. But I also just got home from running a little errand. Zach asked for arepas for dinner, so I went and did a little pickup. I got a ridiculous amount of arepas. So, arepa unboxing. Oh, I'm excited. And I think he's almost home too. So we're almost about to eat them. I don't know where I have my phone. Oh, it's right here. So, I don't know if they're gonna be labeled, but I wanna see. So, arepas, if you don't know, is a type of food made from ground maize dough eaten in the northern region of South America since pre-Columbian times, and notable primarily in the cuisine of Colombia and Venezuela, but also present in the cuisines of Bolivia and other countries. And so, most Latin American and Southern American foods are gluten-free because Zach has celiac, but sometimes there's cross-contamination that happens in restaurants. So what we really like about Arepa Mia in Avondale Estates is that they have no cross-contamination. Like, it's an entirely gluten-free restaurant, meaning Zach can eat there confidently, which is awesome, but also they're really good. And so I got pernil arepa, pescado arepa, pollo la catira arepa, and then, oh, this one had its actual name whenever I ordered it, but organic strawberry and cream cheese empanada. So this is the strawberry and cream cheese empanada, which is technically for dessert. Yes. Pescado. Let's get a plate out. Oh wait, first I have to do my other unboxing. So we'll get a plate out for the arepas in a second. Sorry that this is all over the place. The second thing is that I got new tennis shoes because, like I mentioned, I think I've like almost worn a hole in the ones that I got. I got ASICs in March, and so I don't know why I felt like that was too soon to get new shoes. I don't know, because they've lasted me a long time for being my only shoe. But I have switched. I'm going to try out Hokas because I keep hearing more about them. I feel like they're getting trendier. The first time I actually heard about Hokas was whenever my mom ran, because she got Hokas for trail running, that they were really good like trail running shoes. I got them off Zappos because they had more color options. The actual Hoka site is out of stock of a lot of things. And I got the Arahi 6. They had like a little like foot quiz and told me what they thought was gonna be best. So I wouldn't typically pick yellow, but it was my favorite color out of the ones they had for my size. And so I'm excited to try these out, and I kind of think I may go on a walk later tonight, maybe if I'm feeling it, because that could be a good level of physicality while also breaking in my new shoes.
Is there anybody else like you? Anybody else like you? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody else like you? Anybody else like you? I think I found an angel. Is there anybody else like you? Anybody else like you? I don't think so.
Hey, happy Wednesday. I feel even more like absolute crap. And so I am going to lay and watch Orange is the New Black on the sofa for as long as I can today and try not to have any kind of guilt about it. I do teach from 6 to 9 tonight, so I'm hoping to at least, you know, rest up until then, but dang. And the thing is too, like, I saw all those boys get sick, and here I am. victim of it too. So yeah, I got a little roll of toilet paper for blowing my nose. I got Orange Is the New Black, and I just took some Tussin, and so hopefully, I don't know, hopefully we're on the up and up. But just wanted to give a little update and say that my plan is to be all entirely better by the time I go back into jail tomorrow. That is the plan, and so I'll start the next vlog then, and we'll put all of this behind us after taking all of today to rest. Oh, I didn't even mention yesterday our water went off for like 2 or 3 hours, which happened very recently, so it's kind of annoying. But that's what happened after dinner. And then, yeah, I slept a lot, but it didn't necessarily feel good. And then I have arrived to this point in my life. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I feel like this vlog included some fun things, and I'll see you next time.